Definitions. Algorithm. A set of instructions that are followed in a fixed order and used for solving a mathematical problem, making a computer program, etc. Stumbled upon. Stumble on / across / upon, to find or discover something by chance and unexpectedly. I stumbled across a long-lost cousin last night in a restaurant. Implement. To make something such as an idea, plan, system, or law start to work and be used. Equals carry out. The agreement was signed but its recommendations were never implemented. The changes to the national health system will be implemented next year. A window into, on. Something that makes it possible to see or understand something clearly. This knowledge opens a window into your opponent's mind. The book gives the reader a window on war.
The Secret Algorithm Behind Learning by Shane Parrish. The person who says he knows what he thinks but cannot express it usually does not know what he thinks. Mortimer J. Adler, How to Read a Book. I wasn't always a good learner. I thought learning was all about the hours you put in. Then I discovered something that changed my life. The famous Nobel-winning physicist Richard Feynman understood the difference between knowing something and knowing the name of something, and it's one of the most important reasons for his success. Feynman stumbled upon a formula for learning that ensured he understood something better than everyone else. It's called the Feynman technique, and it will help you learn anything deeper, and faster. The topic, subject, or concept you want to learn doesn't matter. Pick anything. The Feynman technique works for everything. Best of all, it's incredibly simple to implement. The catch, it's ridiculously humbling. Not only is this a wonderful method of learning, but it's also a window into a different way of thinking. Let me explain.
Definitions. Attention span. The length of time that you can pay attention to one thing without becoming bored or thinking about something else. Young children have quite short attention spans. Jargon. Words and expressions used in a particular profession or by a particular group of people, which are difficult for other people to understand, often used to show disapproval. Keep it simple and avoid the use of jargon. Conceal. To hide something carefully. The shadows concealed her as she crept up to the house. The path was concealed by long grass. A concealed weapon. Herald. To be a sign of something that is going to come or happen soon. A flash of lightning and a peal of thunder heralded torrential rain. Flashing blue lights heralded the arrival of the police.
There are 4 steps to the Feynman technique. Step 1. Teach it to a child. Take out a blank sheet of paper and write the subject you want to learn at the top. Write out what you know about the subject as if you were teaching it to a child. Not your smart adult friend, but rather an 8-year-old who has just enough vocabulary and attention span to understand basic concepts and relationships. A lot of people tend to use complicated vocabulary and jargon to mask when they don't understand something. The problem is we only fool ourselves because we don't know that we don't understand. In addition, using jargon conceals our misunderstanding from those around us. When you write out an idea from start to finish in simple language that a child can understand, tip, use only the most common words. You force yourself to understand the concept at a deeper level and simplify relationships and connections between ideas. If you struggle, you have a clear understanding of where you have some gaps. That tension is good. It heralds an opportunity to learn.
Definitions. Inevitably. Used for saying that something is certain to happen and cannot be avoided. The decision will inevitably lead to political tensions. Inevitably, the situation did not please everyone. Encounter. To experience something, especially problems or opposition. They encountered serious problems when 2 members of the expedition were injured. Invaluable. Priceless, too valuable to measure, extremely useful. The new job will provide you with invaluable experience. The internet is an invaluable source of information. Competence. The ability to do something well. Competence in. Students will gain competence in a wide range of skills. Competence of. He questioned the competence of the government. Liable. Liable to do something, likely to do or say something or to behave in a particular way, especially because of a fault or natural tendency. Equals likely. The car is liable to overheat on long trips. He was liable to just show up without a warning.
Step 2. Review. In Step 1, You will inevitably encounter gaps in your knowledge where you're forgetting something important, are not able to explain it, or simply have trouble connecting an important concept. This is invaluable feedback because you've discovered the edge of your knowledge. Competence is knowing the limit of your abilities, and you've just identified one. This is where the learning starts. Now you know where you got stuck, go back to the source material and relearn it until you can explain it in basic terms. Identifying the boundaries of your understanding also limits the mistakes you're liable to make and increases your chance of success when applying knowledge.
Definitions. Handcrafted. Made by hand or a hand process. Delicate handmade baby dresses. Flow. Words/ideas. If conversation or ideas flow, people talk or have ideas steadily and continuously, without anything stopping or interrupting them. Everyone was relaxed and the conversation flowed freely.
Step 3. Organize and simplify. Now you have a set of handcrafted notes. Review them to make sure you didn't mistakenly borrow any of the jargon from the source material. Organize them into a simple story that flows. Read them out loud. If the explanation isn't simple or sounds confusing, that's a good indication that your understanding in that area still needs some work.
Definitions. Run something by, or past. Tell someone about something, especially in order to ascertain their opinion or reaction. Ideally. Used to describe the way you would like things to be even though this may not be possible. Ideally, your car should have high security locks. Fruit and vegetables should ideally be organically grown.
Step 4. Optional. Transmit. If you really want to be sure of your understanding, run it past someone, ideally who knows little of the subject, or find that 8-year-old. The ultimate test of your knowledge is your capacity to convey it to another.
Definitions. Intuitive. An intuitive idea is based on a feeling rather than on knowledge or facts. He seemed to have an intuitive awareness of how I felt. Someone who is intuitive is able to understand situations without being told or having any proof about them. Intuitively. I knew intuitively that something dreadful had happened to him. Dovetail. To fit together perfectly or to make two plans, ideas, etc. fit together perfectly. Dovetail with. My vacation plans dovetail nicely with Joyce's.
Feynman's approach intuitively believes that intelligence is a process of growth, which dovetails nicely with the work of Carol Dweck, who beautifully describes the difference between a fixed and growth mindset.
Some words have more than one definitions. You can check them out. Link is in the description.